So here's a clip from Owen Benjamin. Oh, but why, as a Christian, would you suggest such a heathen who cusses and talks dirty? Here's why. Because I'm man enough to handle it, and I like the truth that he shares, and he has lots of it that some of you maybe should listen to. If you're a female, don't listen to his live streams. It's probably not for you. But if you're a man and you're solid in your Christianity, go check out Owen Benjamin. If you are weak in your Christian walk, don't go watch Owen. But if you know who you are in Christ, he's got a lot of truth to share. The reason I'm sharing this clip, because this very thing is happening in the northern Indiana Amish community. I will explain that after Owen. Stay tuned. Here he is. I did clean it up for you. Don't worry.
Okay, imagine the feminists where a woman in 1960, and every woman can get married, and the guy can work, and the woman can be a wife and a mom, and the guy can work at a factory and get enough money to have a house, and she can have 5 kids and just be taken care of and blah, blah, blah. And you got a little gremlin coming up and going, you should have the job, not him. You should work at the factory. How come you're a slave? And the woman's like, yeah, you know, why does Gary get to have all the glory at the iron factory? It's like, yeah, why don't you don't need a man to hold you back. You can go work at a factory too. And you can be the one with the money, and you can make all the decisions like whether or not you guys go on vacation, and it's your decision, not Gary's, it's yours. And she's like, yeah. I'm gonna overthrow the chains of marriage. I'm gonna overthrow this damn institution. I'm gonna burn my bra. I'm gonna go get a job. I'm gonna pay the bills. I'm gonna be taxed and a slave, right? And so what happens? So now the economy completely restructures. Where at first, the first women to overthrow the chains of slavery, they have an advantage. Now it's 2 incomes, right? The woman can have an income, and so does the man. And they get 2 cars, and they get an extra nice vacation. All the other women are like, why don't I get a job? And the guy's like, because our kids need a mom, okay? I need a wife who handles the bills and cleans and cooks and raises our kids and handles our community and, communicates to the other wives, and we have get-togethers and we plan stuff and we have community events, and that's your job. And my job is to go into the factory or go into the office, and I work to get money to keep the thing going. And she's like, yeah, but why not me though, right? And she's like, and the little gremlin's just like, no, you deserve the credit. You deserve the credit. So the woman listens to the little gremlin to overthrow the chains of her husband. And now look at them. How many women in the chat would you want to go back to a time because what happens is the economy readjusts. Now, if everybody has 2 incomes, then everything gets more expensive. Why do you think houses got more expensive? Why do you think cars got more expensive? Why do you think everything got more expensive? Because it's supply and demand, right? So if you have more income flowing into the economy because 2 people work, the more people did that, the more expensive everything got. You understand? That's why it's harder on everybody to have a stay-at-home wife now, because of all the families that have 2 people working. It's that simple.
Let me know in the comments below how many of you women would like to go back to a time where you can be stay-at-home wives, stay-at-home moms. Let's just see. Put a 7 in the chat if you would like to go back to a time where all wives and moms could stay at home.
It's literally that simple. It's the same with debt. If everybody was buying their house with cash and not debt, everything would be cheaper. You see why? Because the greed got people to go, I want a better house though. I'll take out a loan, even though it's against my Christianity. I'm going to do usury and pay debt on it, but I want a nicer place, even though it goes against my morality. Why do you think it was banned in Christendom? Because it ruins it for everybody. It's not just you that suffer. That's why I don't have a credit card. Do I suffer for it? Sure. Could I have gotten a 1,000-acre ranch and bought? Yes, I didn't. I lived in a barn and built my house with cash when I sold my other place. Yeah, I have a great life, but I could have had one, 20 times better. Because that's why everything gets expensive. Because one person says, I'll give you 50,000. I want more for it. And so they take out the debt, they pay interest on it, And now to compete in the market, you also have to. It's a lot like steroids in cycling or athletics. Like when Lance Armstrong kept winning, everybody else had to do what he did to compete. Because if that's why regulations are so important. That's why these anarcho-capitalists are literally Satanists. Literally. If you don't have regulations, then it's a race to the bottom all the time. If you allow steroids, if you allow doping in cycling, every single other person has to do that to compete. Okay? So when women overthrew their oppressors and they all went into the workforce, if you went back and asked them, would you do that again? Or would you rather just be a mom and a wife and be provided for and have all day to be with your kids and to cook and to clean and to serve your husband, and you have a house and a community and friends and neighbors and family and all that stuff?
Truth. That is exactly how it happens. So, I said that this very thing is happening in the northern Indiana Amish community. It is. In the past, Amish women, the girls, once they turn 15, 16, if they're not working at home on the farm, so they go get jobs in the local gift shops or the local restaurants or whatever it may be, more softer jobs. Now they've started going to the RV factories. The RV factories around here, they work their butts off. You work fast and hard and you make 70 to 100 bucks an hour. The girls want in on this. They wanted to make that type of money. So they do. They go work in the RV factories and they make that money. And being a lot of girls, a lot of them maybe not drive, don't have cars and stuff, they save up a ton of money. So when it comes time to get married, when they find a spouse or a boyfriend and to get married, they have a big chunk of money saved up. So what does that do? Well, that drives the prices of property up. How so, may you ask? Well, imagine if a piece of property is going up for sale in this Amish community. You know, the Amish want to stay in their community. They don't want to go to the outside of it. They want to stay in the community, so they're within driving distance, horse and buggy driving distance of family and friends. So for example, when a piece of property goes up for sale, and let's say there's an Amish man and his girlfriend there, they want to buy it, but she worked at the local cafe and made 10, 12 bucks an hour. He works at the factory, makes $70 to $100 an hour. So they have basically one income because she doesn't have a whole lot saved up. Then there's two couples there, and the women both worked at the factory, and they were able to save up a ton of money. So what happens when the auction starts? They have way more money. The female having maybe saved up $100,000 to $200,000, along with the boyfriend who has saved up a chunk of money, knowing he's going to get married. They have a huge down payment that they can put down on this property. They can pay more for it because they have a huge down payment. So this valuable piece of land, this highly sought after piece of land, the bidding war will be between those two couples where the women worked. And this other couple where the female had a feminine job, they're out of the running from the get-go because they only have one income, basically. You say, well, that's fine. That's fine. Women are allowed to work. They're allowed to work. They're free, and they are. But don't you see, when both parties are working and saving up and making that much money, the land prices go way up, and it's way out of reach for anybody who doesn't do that. It now forces all the other Amish girls to save up money to go work in the factories where they shouldn't be, working with the men, working hard and fast, not designed for that stress. It shouldn't be there, my opinion, but it forces them to also do that so when they get married, they can afford a piece of property in the community. It's going to get to the point where the wives will have to work after they get married. They're going to have to put off getting kids, so it's probably already happening where they're putting off having kids so that she can work for another few years to help pay for the property they bought. The Amish were designed to the women staying at home, raising the kids, and the husband provides. But it's already, they are following the world. They're 100 years behind maybe, but they're now, I see it, they're following the women. Well, why can't I go make that money? I want to make that money too. And so they do. And now it drives the land prices up. Now everybody's going to be forced to do it if they want to live in this community. Now, my advice, we can complain and whine about that, but it's how it is. You can't tell other people what they can and can't do. They have the freedom to go work in the factories. They have the freedom to make that. I think your choice, instead of complaining about it, is move to the outskirts. Buy cheaper land, do with less. But it is a perfect example of what happened with the feminist movement and the women going out to the workforce. And I know, because all the men went to the wars, the women had to go work. Well, I don't know what the situation was then, but they could have stopped working. Women are allowed to work. It's not a biblical thing. Just saying, it's better. It's better if they stay at home raising their kids. If they're bored at home, then it is better if they go find a job, because there is women needed in the workforce, for sure. So instead of being bored at home with no kids, go work. That's fine, not a problem. Your first priority is with the kids at home. I'm checking out. This is CJ with the Amish Potato. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.